To everyone on this Mother's Day, whether you're here or online, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Prescott. I'm Tom Kimmerly, part of your leadership team. Thank you, Sandy, for that pre-service meditation. Power of intention, I guess. Today we not only have Reverend Kath doing a Sunday service, we also have her husband, John De Palma, visiting us. So, you noticed the flowers as you entered. You noticed the flowers as you entered. They are here for part of our Mother's Day celebration that Reverend Kath will be getting into a little later. Yesterday, Reverend Kath did a play shop with our practitioners dealing with personal growth that is leading us towards our permanent minister. Along that same line, we have formed a co-creation committee of 5 that will grow and eventually be part of our co-creation weekend with Reverend Christine Green. That weekend will be in mid-July and include all of you, one way or another. We will have more information for you as time goes on. This coming Saturday, in addition to the sound meditation and the writer's circle, we'll have an energy workshop put on by Sonia Willits at 3 p.m. The following Saturday, Hazel Bowman has a workshop called The Miracle of You at 9 a.m. And starting on Saturday, June 4th, Grace McManus and Sharon Tights are teaching a class called This Thing Called You. If any of this or all of this interests you, please use the sign-up sheets in the lobby. Today after service, our hospitality group and our volunteers are providing you with lunch, so please stick around. Have a wonderful day and blessings to you all. Thank you.
Good morning. For those of you that just came in, please silence your cell phones. I'm Sandy Kimmerly, part of your leadership team as well. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at the center. As I said earlier, happy Mother's Day to everyone, anybody who has ever parented anybody or anything. I wish you a glorious day. And so we'll do our opening meditation, our opening prayer. In deep gratitude, we breathe in the glorious spiritual energy in this room, in this city, in this world. Thank you, Spirit, for helping us see the beauty around us. We smile as we remember how fortunate we are to live in a beautiful, peaceful, abundant place. We acknowledge all the people who have come together to make this service happen, the people putting on the service and the people enjoying it. Without both, it would not be complete. We elevate each other. And so, with great joy, we affirm it by saying together, and so it is.
Good morning, everyone. Man, I love getting requests, and I got a request for this one. So sing this with me. This is oh man, it's been so long since we've done this. This is a Michael Gott song, I think. And it is, yes it is, a toe tapper. called Everything. All that I need comes to me. Goes like this. Well, all that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free, I'm released. I've been set free, I'm released. The burden of my past is gone away at last. I've been set free, I'm released. A sweet rain that washes me clean. Said sweet rain that washes me clean. The mind creates all things, into my life it brings. Sweet rain that washes me clean. Well, all that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace, it shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me.
Well, good morning, everybody, and a very, very happy Mother's Day. I'm sure you've heard that before today. And thanks, Jackson, for that wonderful song. And thanks to all of you attending today, and anybody who is new. We welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living in Prescott, Arizona. So, I'm one of 9 licensed practitioners at the Center for Spiritual Living. And as some of you know, we are licensed to teach classes about the science of mind and also to pray. And Ernest Holmes called this prayer affirmative prayer, but the more common term we use is called spiritual mind treatment. And we welcome you here to this idea of our prayer because we accept you just as you are without any particular judgments. We're not concerned with what your past is, not that we want to discount it, but that we want you to know that we know exactly who you are. And as licensed practitioners, we offer prayer. And we do it right after the service. We like to term it 3-minute miracles, not 1 minute. And also, we will offer you a more intense session if you are interested in that. And we have a list of licensed practitioners that will be in our bulletin. So, prayer is something that is universal, and there are many, many ways to pray. And we have a little ceremony that we do, and where we honor some of the major religions of the world. So I'd like to invite the candlelighters to come up as we go through our ritual. Thank you. So the Center for Spiritual Living honors all faith traditions, and as we light a candle for the major world religions, it is to acknowledge both our multiplicity and our unity.
We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within.
For Islam, the practice of submitting to the will of God as revealed through his prophets, peace be upon them, who taught that there is one God, creator of the heaven and the earth.
For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God.
For Buddhism, the middle path that ends suffering and awakens mindfulness and compassion.
For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion.
For Native American traditions and those who walk the good red road, including the people of the sun, whom we know as the Yavapai.
For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace.
And for the goddess traditions, embracing the divine feminine as maiden, mother, and crone.
And finally, for the science of mind, which is the philosophy of life that teaches there is a power in the universe and we can use it.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, candlelighters. And now we will read our affirmation. We are here for God. Our purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything we do. The good we seek for ourselves is what we desire for all people everywhere. Thank you. So, we will go now into our meditation. No, wait a minute. Did I forget something? Okay. Meditation.
Jackson.
Oh, sorry. Jackson, I'm still learning.
Aren't we all? Sing this with me. It's about us. Surely the presence of God's love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God's love is in this place. Surely the presence of God's love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God's love is in this place. Surely the presence of God's love is in this place.
And the presence of God's love is in this place. Please relax back in your seats for our in-service meditation. Please take a deep breath and close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. All is well in the divine goodness, the Mother, Father, God in all of us. Within this one is contained every solution, every answer, every potentiality. We are one with the one. Spirit shines. I breathe in peace. I breathe out negativity. I breathe in love. I breathe out fear. I breathe in compassion. I breathe out worry. I breathe in abundance. I breathe out. I breathe in joy. I breathe out. I breathe in light. I breathe out. I breathe in and I pause to reflect. We breathe in oneness and love. Please return to the room. Namaste.
And our soloists today have definitely been giving this center oneness and love for a long, long time. And always a privilege to have them join us yet again and yet again. It is Krista and Tom Agostino Young.
You know, I've had a great pleasure over my long life. This is my birthday just a few days ago, so my life is a long life. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Of meditating. I've been a meditator for probably 50 years of my life. I've meditated. And through the journeys I've taken, I've gotten the opportunity to meet some incredible meditative musicians, people like Vangelis, who I've gotten to know. Whoever he is, you guys are, everyone here is very, very blessed. Just let me say, they're very blessed to have the quality of music and have Jackson meditate you all every week. It's really, really special. I know I enjoy it. And speaking of being a long-time meditator, I'm also an old hippie. And so we're gonna play you a Mother's Day song. And it's one of my old hippie Mother's Day songs. I didn't write it, but I've been playing it for probably many, many, many years. And I just think it really fits today, and it's called Prairie Rose. And as I'm singing these songs I'm dreaming of, they are sung for the ones that I love. And painted feathers, a wind blown on calico, and faded colors appear to be one. And prairie rose, mother of melody, in a long dress with stars on her breast, she's weaving circles through hearts of emptiness. She's leaving traces of time on the sand, and she loves me tonight. One soft smile says it's alright. She loves us tonight. And buffalo hunters have taken her family through the high pass and over the hills. But still she sits, she's singing songs for her enemies. Still she sings songs of love for me and you. Prairie rose, mother of melody, in a long dress with stars on her breast, she's weaving circles through hearts of empty, leaving traces of time on the sand. And she loves me tonight. One soft smile says it's alright. She loves us tonight. Whoa. And lodges are empty, spirits have laid to rest in the valley of 100 last steps. Whispering waters, meadowlark, spring flowers, it's all the same in the great giveaway. Prairie rose, mother of melody, in a long dress, stars on her breast, she's weaving circles through hearts of empty, leaving traces of time for you. And she loves me soft smile says it's all right. She loves us tonight. One soft smile says it's all right. Because she loves us. She loves us. She loves us. She loves us tonight. She loves us. She loves us. She loves us. She loves us tonight. She loves. She loves. She loves. She loves us tonight. Prairie Road.
Thank you so much, Tom and Krista. It's always a pleasure to have you here. So, at this moment, I am happy to welcome back our interim minister, Reverend Kath DePalma, and also make mention that her husband is with us today. And if John wants to give a wave, just so we know who he is, we're happy to have you here. And we're looking forward to Reverend Kath and her message. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Grace. Good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. I'm going to put this over here. Brought you some flowers from the Tulip Fest in Skagit, Washington. Yeah, it was, if you ever get to go to a Tulip Fest, I've never seen anything like it. Just amazing colors and just beautiful designs and beautiful flowers. It was just magnificent. So I had to bring some back to you. So, happy Mother's Day. We're definitely honoring the nurturing aspect this morning, because the title of my talk is The Art of Nurture. And everyone has done such a great job of including more than just mothers, because sometimes it's, others that are doing the mothering. So we honor all of you and that nurturing aspect within you. And I'd like to start with a story this morning. Anyone see The Hope with Jane Goodall? Just an amazing story if you get a chance to see it. If you remember, she was the English primatologist who spent time in the forests in Africa studying the gorillas and everything. And she just spent time studying them. And she realized through her studies that they were so much like us. They had their own families and culture, and they had emotions, they were intelligent, they even shared a lot of the same DNA as us. So we really shared a lot of things. Now, people back then, you have to remember when she started, because she's I think she's about 87 now, and 90s. So when she was starting, scientists and people thought that animals were less than, that they weren't sentient beings. So they were used, for, biomedical, research. They were used for, pets. And so her work evolved as she started hearing that there was a lot of poaching going on. And they were killing the mothers and taking the babies, or leaving some of the babies. So there was all these orphans that were being sold to zoos and as pets and for the biomedical research. And so she was really reluctant to get involved, because she's kind of a gentle spirit who preferred to spend time in the woods or in the forests. And but she really felt called, like she was the only voice that could really speak to things because of her research and who she was. And so she started getting involved and educating people and, going around and speaking with them. And her work grew, and one of her crown jewels was to work with an oil company to create a sanctuary for some of these orphans. And they show that in the movie. It's just a very special place. So this working with the animals, specifically the gorillas and monkeys and things, that led to her working with the environments which was affecting them. And then that led to her working with people, because we're all connected, right? We're all one. And so her second crown jewel began in 1991 when she was sitting on her porch in Tanzania with some young people. And they said, "We are just so frustrated because we don't know what to do. We feel powerless with all of the things going on in the world." And she realized in that moment that they were the solution. They were the solution. And so she started empowering the youth and came up with a global movement for the youth called Roots and Shoots. And their motto is be bold, be kind, and do good. So, as that work continued, this grew. It's like this program is now in over 50 states, over 600 or 60 countries, and millions of students all over the world are carrying out this mission of making compassionate decisions, influencing and leading change in their own communities. So her whole lifetime has been about being a voice for us all and for everything. And this kind of nurturing is unique to her. It's the only way that she could do her nurturing. We all have an ability to do it in our own way. And so this, I have a picture, I guess I should tell, that I fell in love with. And it was out of a National Geographic. And this pilot, his name is Anthony Suri, works for the Virunga National Park in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And he survived a plane crash 5 years ago, probably more now. And so his new mission is to take some of these orphans, this is Felix and Mara, and to take them to a sanctuary there. Just precious. I just can't take my eyes off that picture. It's just such an incredible picture. Thank you. So I bring Jane up, and I bring Anthony, or the young pilot, up because we are talking about the art of nurturing. And so he's got his own version of nurturing. And all of this fits in beautifully with our month. If you remember, we're talking about emotions. And now we throw in Mother's Day on top of that. And there is probably no relationship that is more charged with emotions than the one that we have with our mothers. Maybe some of you would agree. Maybe it depends on the day. I don't know. But that mother-child relationship is intense, it can be dramatic, it's complex, it's sophisticated, it's difficult, and yet it can be, soft and gentle and warm and tender and sweet and comforting and all of those things mixed together at the same time. And because it's highly emotional and very complex, it's very sensitive, and lots of things can go wrong. lots of things can go wrong. We've all heard stories, and maybe you have your own. Physically bringing a child into this world is a feat in itself. Would some of you agree? So if nothing else, we have to be willing to thank our mothers for that, right? Because we're here. And it's a great thing that we're all here, right? It's a beautiful day. It's a great day to be together. Now, ideally, this lifelong commitment, to nurturing and caring and being supportive that requires the very best of us, ideally, it's lifelong. I remember John saying, it's mother, you're going to be a mother the whole time. It goes beyond, 18. And when you think of it, it's, raising a child to adulthood, it's a seemingly impossible task, especially if it's only done by one person that thinks that they have to do it all or that they're responsible for it all. It's daunting. It's unrealistic. In reality, mothers can't always be there for us. I didn't even want my mother to go take a bath. I was really spoiled. Raising a child requires so much loving support from not just the actual mother. It does require a village to raise a child. Now, we have to get away from thinking that things have to be a certain way and that we have to get our love and care from a certain person. We have to get away, it's just not possible or realistic, even for these chimps. We have to get away from thinking that our lives have to look a certain way, or they have to look like it normally is supposed to look. While at any given moment things can look very messy, there is always a way for us to get what we need. In an infinite universe, there are always ways for us to get what we need. We may look fragile as youngsters. We may look at children and babies, and they look so fragile. And of course, they need help with their care and acclimating to the world. But we are all very much more resilient than we think. And technically, now this is a big one for humanity to accept, but technically, we come in as full-blown spirits, even though we're coming into a little teeny tiny body, 5 to 10 pounds. But technically, we are a full-blown spirit at that time. That's a hard one to get our minds wrapped around. I'm having trouble here. As we mature, we have to get away from thinking that we need nurturing from others and lamenting that we didn't get it from our mothers or whoever else we thought we were supposed to get it from. Ultimately, we have to break that tie with the idea that our good comes from outside in, and that it really is already there within us. The love is already there within us. That's another big leap for humankind. That's another big leap. So as we continue to grow in our spiritual maturity, we begin to see that maybe we did get what we needed at soul level. And when we get it that we did get what we needed, we can also start mothering and nurturing ourselves. We can accept and appreciate ourselves. We can value ourselves. We can see that we do belong here, that we have a place in the grand scheme of things. And once we realize this, we see that there's really a bigger picture going on for us. Now, these are all huge steps in the development of a human being, and they take probably maybe a lifetime or more to achieve. So if you don't have it all wrapped up, don't worry. We're all on our own perfect personal path, divinely designed. Our relationships were never meant to be the end all for us. Now, definitely we were here to enjoy, we're here to enjoy them and to enjoy companionship. Ultimately, they are training wheels. All of our relationships here are training wheels for a greater love. They're here to help us get to that point where we go within and we seek counsel within, where we realize that we have a divine partner, where we know that we've got that divine guidance available to us all the time, where we develop a personal, intimate relationship with God, with the intimate, with spirit, with whatever you want to call it, source. Life was never meant to be as hard as we make it. It really is a matter of us evolving into a bigger picture of ourselves and the greater reality that is. And I say these things because this is a difficult day for some. And so we need to get a bigger idea. Whenever there's, lingering pain about a certain thing, we need to get a bigger and better idea about it. And that helps us take us out of any of that pain and discomfort. All of that, then, loving ourselves, getting to that place, leads me to my next point. And that is, I'll never forget my teacher, Kennedy Schultz, was teaching a prosperity class. And I can still remember just sitting there and listening to him, and he said, "You may be able to do great good in the world, and your money and your tithes can go to the far reaches of the world, places that you'll never be able to go to. And that gives you ownership in the world. It gives you a partnership in the ownership of the world." That idea is huge. It's huge. And it's not ownership acquisition like we typically think of the words, the word ownership. It's really feeling like this is our home, not just, the lot that I'm living on or that I own. It's all ours. It's all mine. We share this. We're a part of something larger. And that's important to know. The incredible work that's being done here in this center is a case in the art of nurture. The beautiful work, this bold attempt to live on the edge of expanding consciousness. That's bold. The idea that we can broaden our perspective here, that we can know our oneness with Source, that we can feel at home in our own skin, make peace with our past, know that we have value to bring, feel like we belong, love ourselves, be fearless in loving ourselves in a way that no one else ever could. Making contributions that affect the greater good of all. All of this is tremendously powerful work that we are doing here in this center and in the Centers for Spiritual Living. Supporting this work with your time, talent, and treasure, plus doing the personal work that you're doing on yourselves, all of that is a huge part in the art of nurture and learning more about that. It's an investment in ourselves. Nothing can make us feel better. And when we feel good about ourselves, there's just no stopping us. When our cups are filled to overflowing with love and goodness, we just can't help but extend it, to give it out. It just spills out of us. We can't stop it. There has to be an outlet for all of that goodness, that love. And that's when we have the energy for things that we never had the energy for before. It's this act of giving, this, self-love, this giving from this rich place within ourselves opens the door for us to a whole new world. And that feeds us all. This universal parent that we have just has our back totally. It will never leave our side. It is always there for us. Spiritual guidance is here for us all the time. We just have to believe it, learn to interpret its language, learn to interpret what's going on around us, and recognize it. Recognize that it is, that this is the key to nurturing ourselves. It comes from our spiritual practices. We get stronger in it, and we get farther along in it as we go. Jane Goodall's success is a huge contribution to us all, just like there are many others. Many others. Mother Teresa, many, many others. Jane shows us that we can keep our wits about us and make progress in a crazy yet wonderful world. She knows that only change can happen when hearts are touched, when we get to that heart level, and that we can change without harsh criticisms, judgments, charged emotions. We can do it with love, and we can really make huge progress from there. So going from loving ourselves to sharing that love with the world is huge. It's a large part of who we are, and it's big. There is just so much potential here for us, and nurturing is our key to survival. It really is our key to survival. It's the only way that we can evolve out of our fears and limitations and really live in this heaven that is here. So much can be achieved from the place of heart. So I'm going to close with this piece. This will be part of my treatment from Ernest Holmes. And I also would like to invite you to take a plant on your way out today. And I'd like to thank Nancy and Nina and the group that so lovingly put those all together, and whoever else was involved in that process, and take it as an idea of this art of nurture and how to grow that in your life, and how to take care of this little plant, and remember this beautiful day together. So here he goes. So accept this in a way that's meaningful to you. We must unify ourselves with the great whole. The person who dares to fling their thought out into the universal intelligence with the assurance of one who realizes their divine nature and its relation to the universe and dares to claim all there is will find an ever creative good at hand to aid them. God will honor their request. To the soul that knows its own divinity, all else must gravitate. Let us then enlarge our thought processes and dare to think in universal terms. Let us dare to believe that every constructive word is invincible. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Grab this.
Where we let the love wash We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the grace wash over us. We let it be.
Thank you, Jackson. So today, right now, it is our time for giving, and we have resumed passing the basket, and I invite our ushers, usherettes to come up, and I invite you all to place your offering over your heart as we pass around the basket. And if you have already donated it online, we thank you for that also. So there are several ways you can give. You can donate online through the website, www.cslprescott.org/give, or you can text this number, 844-917-1240. And so I invite you now to say our affirmation together. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. So we now invite Tom and Krista back to the stage.
I'm talking myself into playing with them, so.
So May is an incredible month. Lots of good musicians were born in May, besides myself, of course. But one of them was Pete Seeger, May 3rd. So we're going to do a Pete Seeger song about the planet, one of his beautiful songs. If you're familiar with Pete Seeger, the last part of his life, he spent saving rivers, especially the Hudson River, on his boat Clearwater. And this is a song he wrote about sailing down his golden river. Sailing down my golden river, sun and water all my own. Yet I am never alone.
Sun and water hold like rivers. I'll have them where'er I go. And I am not far from home.
And sunlight glancing on the waters, life and death are all my own. Yet I am never alone. We are sailing, sailing this widening highway, travelers from both near and far, and I am never alone. 'Cause we are sailing, sailing, sailing home. Sailing, sailing, sailing home.
Exploring all the little byways, sighting all the distant stars,
And I am not far from home. Sailing down my golden river, sun and water all my own. Yet I am never alone.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Krista. Just a little side. I grew up in New York State and not too far from the Hudson River. And believe me, that work of cleaning up that river did help. Restored some of the fish that they thought would be lost altogether. It was a great group effort. So now it's our time to invite anybody who may not have, maybe a first-time visitor to the center, or you're returning after a period of time. If you would like to stand, we welcome you, and we have a little gift for you, free book from our bookstore. Is there anyone who would like to stand and just give us your name and where you're from? We don't push you, but if you would like to, we welcome you to stand. No takers today? Oh, we got one. Okay. Thank you, Carol. Nice to have you. Is there anybody else? Okay. So we do have some children, I believe. Are they ready to come in and greet us? Oh, Nina's gonna go back and get them for us. So.
Hey, there is one thing I forgot to say earlier, and I never forget anything, so it's really incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Like me, right?
I don't know why they're laughing. So next week, one of our soloists. It's really I'm really glad we started having him here is Sky Conwell, and Sky will be here next week, and I convinced him to do the next installment of Snack and a Song. So he will, after service, he's going to be set up over there. So while you're having your snacks, you'll be the musical entertainment next Sunday. So see, I agree.
Okay, why don't we have our kids come on up, and they can share with us what they did today.
So today we did a Mother's Day project for our mothers. And we almost finished Inside Out.
We almost finished it. Yeah.
Almost.
Anything else?
Mr. Jim said be a little long-winded because the food's not quite ready. So anything else?
No. Anybody?
Hi.
Happy Mother's Day.
Hi. Happy Mother's Day.
So much. Okay, so I would like to invite the congregation to stand, and if you're comfortable, you may hold hands, and as we read the benediction together. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. We're a family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow.